Hey guys, what's up? Shadowlance back today with a rather interesting commentary, and I'll tell you right off the bat, it's going to be a bit longer, but I think it's going to be good because it's something I don't think anyone's really ever done before, or if they have, it's been a very long time, and I doubt it's been this in-depth if I do pat myself on the back. Today, I wanted to rate combat arms, and when I say rate it, I mean I'm going to rate it compared to other games today. I'm not going to be rating it compared to when it was made. I want you guys to see what I think about it, because I actually was a game designer for about 3 years while I was in high school. I actually worked on a lot of different games, first-person shooters, racing games, a lot of stuff. I even went to a college course over the summer at Carnegie Mellon University over game design and game theory, so I think I have the credentials to speak about this honestly. I'm not going to go too in-depth, but I do want you guys to see what I think about the rating of combat arms in comparison to other free-to-play first-person shooters today. Obviously, I'm not going to be rating them compared to a lot of paid games. I'm not going to be comparing them to Titanfall necessarily or Call of Duty. I'm going to be comparing them to other games like Gary's Mod, which you can get a crack for, or a cracked Counter-Strike game, or a lot of games like that. Any games that can be cracked and that are easier to get a hold of, or like Arctic Combat was, or even like Soldier Front 2 would be another one I'd compare it to. So without any further ado, I'm going to dive right in. I'm starting off with the graphics. They're not beautiful, to be honest. However, they never really needed to be. They're simple, but they are clear and concise. Being to the point is really more important in a fast-paced game, but having a little more elegance similar to Counter-Strike Global Offensive would be much more appreciated, so I give the graphics a 7 of 10. Next up is the sound. I give it a 7.5 of 10. The music and the sounds are not special. The gun sounds are fairly good, and they account for much of the score that I give this category. I prefer the sounds in this game to most other first-person shooters, which don't put enough stock into the audio of their games beyond the music. Granted, the sounds could be made a bit more complex and realistic than they currently are, and there are many sounds that are absent which would be much appreciated if they were put in game, such as registry sounds for sending and receiving messages on the GUI, kicking players from games, or changing from burst to full auto on a gun. Like if there's a little clicking sound, that would definitely be a lot more helpful instead of just a small graphical change in the bottom right hand corner. Next up is the physics engine. I give this a 9 of 10. The actual engine is brilliant. I've spent a long time looking at the coding of it. It's very clear cut, and that means that when you press something, that is exactly what you get. The movements are sharp. They fit the graphics well, and there are fewer bugs in the coding of the engine that would cause the game to crash than in other games like COD and Battlefield that players should be able to attest to. The only downside is that the gravity functions are done very poorly, which is why jumping, falling down stairs or cliffs, and dying, and many other gravity-related things in this game are so crap. For a while, there were those weird grenade physics. Those were actually more realistic to real life than the game should have been. What we have currently, where it follows a perfect arc every single time, is actually far more elongated along the x-axis, which is how far you're throwing it, than it would be realistically. However, in a game like this, where the maps are even smaller than they should be, this is probably better. So the physics engine gets a 9 of 10. Next up is actually having new content and providing new content. I only give this a 5.5 of 10. This would have gotten a higher score a few years ago. The jobs, events, and content releases and other aspects of newly released content is lacking compared to other modern games. Sadly, there's not much else to say in this category. If there was, the game probably would have gotten a higher score to begin with. Next up is existing content, what's already in the game. I give this a solid 8 of 10. The content has already been phenomenally proven. The maps are diverse, the guns are plentiful, and every ground for combat situations is covered. The myriad of game modes is wonderful, and the sheer amount of stuff in the game is mind-blowing. You should never be bored of this game because there's almost an endless combination of things to try, if you're smart. Only unintelligent people could truly get bored of this game. Now, tired of the game is another story. And this is that other story. The community, I only give a 2.5 of 10, and this is being generous. I've never seen such an unholy cesspool of disrespectful players, unfair and unethical gameplay, and terrible human ego as in this game in recent years. I don't think I need too much explanation for this. I've done so many commentaries on it, but the rating still stands. The management, I only give a 6.5 of 10. I mostly downgrade these guys on their customer service and lack of presence in-game. However, with their recent work to combat hacks and the effectiveness of their work, I have to give the administration for Combat Arms a lot of credit. On top of that, they've been pretty much great about swapping around management in order to give away new ideas and content so they can get that all into their game and, keep up with the new content rating from before. Overall, I give this game a 7.2 of 10. This is a direct average from the scores above. I feel it's pretty accurate to my overall feel for the game as well. It has a weird mix. The pros are really good, but the cons are really bad. The community management and new content areas of the game certainly could be improved upon, but the actual content of the game, as I've said in the past, is quite fine the way it is. I wouldn't change much of it outside of marketing, but I purposely did not include a marketing section because I believe that is a commentary for another day. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I know it's a bit longer. Sorry for dragging on for so long, but I hope that you guys at least enjoyed this unique perspective. I hope a lot more of these videos get put up because I want to hear what other people have to think about Comet Arms as a whole, as opposed to just attacking one part of it or supporting one part of it. Put your comments in the section below, and I want to see what you guys have to say, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadowlance, out.
Round start.
Enemy down.
Double kill. Ultra kill.
Enemy down.
Round start.